As we approach the dawn of 2025, humanity finds itself at a crossroads. This new era promises innovation and transformation, but also brings extraordinary challenges and tests unlike any we have ever faced. While modern science and technology have reshaped our understanding of the world, some mysteries remain beyond their reach. Many turn to the enigmatic prophecies of Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, who foresaw a future filled with upheaval, changes, and revelations that continue to send chills down our spines even today. Born in 1877, Cayce claimed a unique gift, a heightened state of consciousness that allowed him to tap into the collective wisdom of the universe. Through trance-like states, he delivered over 14,000 readings during his lifetime, offering insights into everything from health and healing to global events and spiritual awakenings. Despite skepticism, Cayce's predictions have proven eerily accurate, and his words continue to intrigue those who search for meaning beyond the physical world. For decades, Cayce's warnings about natural disasters, shifting global alliances, and profound spiritual shifts have struck a chord with many. With the approach of 2025, some of his most notable predictions come back into focus, resonating more powerfully than ever. These prophecies hint at earth-shattering events, global upheaval, and a significant reawakening of human consciousness. Cayce spoke of transformations in humanity's spiritual landscape, foreshadowing that we would face trials pushing us to re-evaluate the very fabric of our societies, beliefs, and values. Today, these predictions seem more relevant than ever as we grapple with mounting environmental crises, political tensions, and advancements that challenge traditional ways of life. But are these events random, or are they pieces of a larger, more intricate design that Cayce glimpsed all those years ago? Whether we view Cayce's prophecies as a roadmap or as cautionary tales, they offer a compelling glimpse into a possible future. As 2025 looms near, it's worth considering how Cayce's insights might inform, inspire, or warn us as we navigate this uncharted territory. Join us as we delve into 5 of Edgar Cayce's most striking predictions for 2025 for warnings that might just reshape the course of history. Edgar Cayce, often called the sleeping prophet, is known for his remarkable visions and predictions about world events. Among his most notable prophecies is his belief that the United States would play a pivotal role in an upcoming global conflict, one that could redefine the balance of power worldwide. Cayce's visions depicted an America deeply entangled in a monumental war, one that would extend beyond traditional warfare and test the nation's core values, resilience, and principles. In his prophecies, this impending conflict would not be about territorial expansion or dominance. Rather, it would be a battle where America's principles and moral fabric would be tested on a global stage. Today, some see shadows of Cayce's prophecy in current international events. Tensions are building among superpowers, with nations clashing over trade disputes, economic sanctions, cyber espionage, and territorial claims. The rapid advancement of technology has given rise to new forms of warfare, as cyberattacks and information warfare have become critical tools in the arsenal of global powers. These modern conflicts mirror the tensions Cayce foresaw, as countries increasingly engage in conflict that blurs the line between physical and digital battlefields. Some interpret Cayce's prediction as a warning about these escalating conflicts, suggesting that they could ignite a global confrontation if diplomacy fails. According to Cayce, America's involvement in this war would not merely be for self-defense or the preservation of its own interests. He believed it would also serve as a test of the nation's ideals, principles like freedom, justice, and compassion. The United States would be called upon to navigate moral challenges and uphold its values, even as the nation faces its own internal struggles. Cayce's prophecy seems to emphasize that, while power and influence may be reasons to engage in conflict, America's true strength lies in its ability to stand firm in its convictions, serving as a beacon for other nations. Cayce also predicted a potential American victory, but cautioned that this triumph might come at a great cost. His visions implied that while the nation might emerge victorious, this would be a bittersweet win, achieved only after enduring profound hardship. Economic challenges, political upheaval, and a loss of life could all be part of this path. In this way, Cayce hinted that victory might not look like traditional success. Rather than merely defeating an adversary, America would undergo a transformation, a redefinition of what it means to win. He seemed to suggest that this struggle would strip away superficial notions of victory, leaving behind a deeper understanding of resilience and the sacrifices needed to preserve a nation's soul. The aftermath of such a victory could usher in a seismic shift in global alliances and rivalries. If America prevails, what would this mean for the world? Cayce believed that a victory for the United States could destabilize existing power dynamics, leading to unexpected partnerships and new global alliances. Some countries might gain influence, while others may find their power diminished, forcing a realignment in global politics. Cayce's prediction hints at the possibility of a new superpower emerging, or perhaps the formation of alliances among nations that were once adversaries. This restructuring of global power could lead to a future where nations work together in ways that would have seemed unimaginable before. Cayce's vision offers a glimpse into a future where America's role in a global conflict reshapes not only the nation but the entire world. His prophecy challenges us to consider the true meaning of victory and the lasting impact of war on national identity and values. As global tensions continue to rise, some find Cayce's words particularly relevant, viewing them as a reminder of the delicate balance between power and principles. In this potential future, America's success may depend not only on its military strength but on its commitment to the values it represents, as it navigates a new era of global change. Edgar Cayce, often called the sleeping prophet, made startling predictions about Earth's future, many of which revolve around a time of natural upheaval. According to Cayce's visions, a period of intense natural disasters would mark a pivotal year, bringing earthquakes, tsunamis, and violent storms that would ravage various parts of the globe. This era, he indicated, would represent more than just environmental turmoil. It would signify a profound shift for humanity as a whole. One of Cayce's most alarming predictions centers on heightened seismic activity, especially along the west coast of the United States and throughout the Pacific Ring of Fire. In his readings, he described how this region could experience significant quakes, with the potential for parts of California and the western United States to be overtaken by the sea. While this idea may seem extreme, modern science acknowledges the substantial risk posed by fault lines like the San Andreas and Cascadia subduction zones. In light of Cayce's prophecies, these regions face an unsettling possibility. Could there be a seismic event so massive that it drastically reshapes the western coastline? Cayce's predictions extended beyond earthquakes to the potential for towering tsunamis, giant waves that would irrevocably alter coastal landscapes. He foresaw tsunamis capable of swallowing towns and cities along vulnerable shores, displacing populations and forcing communities to move inland. Today, we recognize the reality of such catastrophic waves, as seen in recent history with events like the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami and the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in Japan. According to Cayce, such disasters might become more frequent and could particularly affect coastal communities by 2025, pushing people away from shores and leading to a complete reimagining of some geographic regions. Cayce's visions of natural disasters were not limited to seismic events. He also foresaw strange and intense weather patterns, with unprecedented hurricanes and storms striking regions around the world. His prophecies suggest a time when nature itself would seem unpredictable, with violent tempests ravaging areas that were previously considered safe. As climate change accelerates, we are indeed seeing bizarre weather events, from record-breaking hurricanes to unexpected storms in regions unaccustomed to such volatility. Cayce's foresight of an Earth beset by raging storms and weather anomalies resonates with our present-day experience of increasingly intense and unusual weather patterns, raising the question, are we now living in the era he envisioned? The year 2025, according to Cayce's prophecies, could be a time when humanity is confronted with the full impact of these natural forces. People may be forced to adapt quickly, relocating away from coastlines, building in ways that withstand stronger storms, and finding new ways to coexist with an Earth that appears to be rebelling against them. For many, Cayce's warnings serve as a wake-up call to address vulnerabilities in infrastructure and communities. While the specific outcomes of Cayce's predictions remain uncertain, his vision of a turbulent period marked by earthquakes, tsunamis, and unpredictable weather paints a compelling picture of an Earth undergoing profound transformation, pushing humanity to confront its relationship with the planet. Cayce's prophecies suggested that humanity would collectively begin to explore a more spiritually aligned approach to existence. Rather than focusing solely on tangible achievements and material gains, he believed that people would search for meaning and fulfillment beyond traditional definitions of success. This inner quest for purpose would arise in response to a world shaken by natural and human-made chaos. The challenges of modern life, ranging from environmental catastrophes to political strife and societal unrest, would act as catalysts, pushing people to look within for stability and understanding. In this search, Cayce saw humanity moving toward a consciousness that values spiritual depth over superficial success. As part of this evolution, Cayce predicted the formation of communities bound not by political affiliations, borders, or social status, but by shared beliefs in the power and resilience of the human spirit. In his vision, he foresaw communities that valued spiritual and emotional strength, forming a network of support and solidarity. He believed that such communities would be essential in facing the global challenges of the future, such as the natural and social upheavals anticipated in the years ahead. In times of crisis, individuals would come together to support each other, creating a foundation of mutual empathy, resilience, and respect. This interconnectedness would strengthen humanity's collective ability to withstand external hardships. Central to Cayce's spiritual vision was the idea of intuition as a guiding force. He believed that, as the world experienced greater turmoil, people would turn inward and begin to develop their inner senses. Rather than relying solely on external systems and authority figures, Cayce envisioned a society where individuals would trust their instincts, attuning themselves to their inner voice as a means of guidance and self-awareness. This awakening, he suggested, would not only promote personal growth and healing, but could also lead to an era of rapid spiritual development, where people learn to access higher realms of understanding and self-discovery. In many ways, Cayce's prophecies paint a picture of a world where humanity overcomes adversity through unity, intuition, and a shared spiritual vision. As people respond to the chaos of the times with introspection, resilience, and mutual support, a more enlightened consciousness could emerge, one where individuals and communities are deeply interconnected, anchored in values that transcend individual gain. This shift, according to Cayce, would mark the dawn of a new age, in which human beings collectively embrace a greater purpose and understanding, ultimately transforming the fabric of society. In the 20th century, Edgar Cayce, often referred to as the sleeping prophet, made numerous predictions about humanity's future, many of which focused on economic systems. Cayce envisioned a time when the global economy would face profound challenges, forecasting that traditional financial systems could reach a breaking point if they continued to operate without addressing their deeper issues. He prophesied that rising debt, inflation, and resource scarcity would eventually push the world economy to a critical juncture. Could 2025 be the year Cayce foresaw as the tipping point where the global financial structure undergoes the shake-up he predicted? Cayce's predictions highlighted not just a single country, but the world at large, foreseeing economic crises on a scale that could impact every nation. According to his visions, the conventional structures supporting the economy were built on unstable foundations. He warned of a future in which unchecked inflation, overwhelming debt, and limited resources could lead to economic collapse in various regions, creating a ripple effect across nations. This instability, he suggested, could cause significant disruptions to people's livelihoods and economic security, making basic resources scarcer and more expensive to access. The global dependency on interconnected financial institutions, coupled with increasingly fragile economic policies, might make nations particularly vulnerable to a sweeping financial crisis, which could unfold sooner than many expect. If Cayce's foresight holds any truth, 2025 may indeed reveal some of these vulnerabilities as global economies face growing pressure. Current indicators such as record-high national debts, increasing inflation rates, and resource challenges mirror Cayce's warnings. Many of these economic trends are being driven by years of overspending, reliance on credit, and environmental strain. For instance, many countries have adopted aggressive monetary policies over the years, relying heavily on debt financing to maintain economic growth. Yet, as debt continues to mount and inflation chips away at the purchasing power of money, the stability of traditional financial systems grows increasingly uncertain. Amid these challenges, Cayce's prophecies suggested that people might begin to search for alternative economic solutions outside the realm of mainstream finance. He envisioned a shift where communities would turn to local, decentralized forms of exchange and trade, as a means of ensuring some degree of economic security in uncertain times. This could involve a resurgence of barter systems, community-based local currencies, and even digital forms of currency like cryptocurrency, which offer autonomy from centralized financial institutions. Cayce's perspective suggests that when economic systems struggle, people are likely to look for stability elsewhere, and these alternative systems may gain traction as a more resilient, localized approach to finance. Barter system, for instance, could become viable in local communities where people exchange goods and services directly without the need for cash transactions. Similarly, local currencies issued and accepted within specific communities could help keep economic activity circulating within those areas, reducing dependence on broader financial markets. In a similar vein, cryptocurrency, a digital asset that is not tied to any government or traditional banking institution, may provide people with a sense of security and control over their own finances. While cryptocurrency remains volatile, it aligns with Cayce's vision of a world where people seek financial resilience in systems outside conventional banking. However, Cayce's predictions about economic upheaval went beyond mere financial structures. His visions extended to a transformative shift in how societies measure success and prosperity. In his view, the future would prioritize health, well-being, and community support over monetary wealth. Cayce's prophecies suggested a societal awakening, where material wealth would lose its luster, and people would place greater value on fulfilling relationships, meaningful pursuits, and the health of their communities. This shift would mark a return to a simpler, more values-driven way of life, where people invest in their physical, emotional, and social well-being instead of accumulating wealth for its own sake. If Cayce's economic predictions unfold, society may start to redefine prosperity. People could begin to evaluate their quality of life based not on how much money they have, but on the strength of their community connections, their physical and mental health, and their overall happiness. In this transformed society, materialism would take a back seat, with people focusing on building relationships, pursuing meaningful work, and contributing to the well-being of their communities. This shift would align with a more holistic understanding of wealth, one that recognizes the importance of balance and fulfillment in life beyond the confines of monetary gain. As we approach 2025, Cayce's predictions offer an intriguing perspective on the potential paths our world might take. With economic pressures building and public interest in alternative currencies growing, It is conceivable that we may witness a reshaping of financial priorities and systems in the coming years. The possibility of a new, more sustainable financial model emerging focused on local exchange, cryptocurrency, and a renewed appreciation for well-being and community may offer society a means to withstand the pressures Cayce foresaw. In a world increasingly drawn to sustainability and holistic success, Cayce's vision of a values-driven economy may not be as distant as it once seemed. In his predictions, Edgar Cayce saw not only a time of great upheaval, but also one of profound progress and discovery, with humanity standing on the brink of major advancements. He envisioned transformative breakthroughs in technology and medicine, foreseeing a future where healing and discovery would reach unprecedented levels. Despite the trials of 2025, this potential for immense progress offers a hopeful view of what lies ahead, suggesting that adversity might serve as a catalyst for profound innovation and change. Cayce placed particular emphasis on healthcare, predicting an era where treatments would not only target physical symptoms, but would also address the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit. He suggested that certain diseases could be cured by techniques aligning with the body's natural energies, harmonizing medical intervention with the patient's inner equilibrium. This holistic approach would aim to strengthen the body's innate healing abilities rather than merely relying on external treatments. With increasing interest in integrative and holistic medicine today, Cayce's foresight seems especially relevant. Could 2025 mark a turning point where traditional healthcare integrates with energy healing, alternative therapies, and mental wellness practices, enabling breakthroughs in treating chronic illnesses and conditions that have long baffled medical science? In addition to healthcare, Cayce predicted the emergence of new energy sources that would revolutionize our relationship with the environment. He foresaw the development of technologies that could harness natural forces, ushering in an era of cleaner, more sustainable energy solutions. As the world grapples with climate change and the urgent need to reduce carbon emissions, Cayce's vision of alternative energy sources resonates strongly. Renewable energy, be it from solar, wind, geothermal, or as yet undiscovered methods, has become the centerpiece of sustainability efforts worldwide. In 2025, it is plausible that Cayce's prophecies of energy innovations might manifest in real-world applications, setting humanity on a path toward a greener future. However, Cayce also warned of the ethical questions that would accompany these advancements. He believed that humanity would face significant dilemmas in how technology and resources were managed. Would these developments be utilized to improve lives and uphold the greater good, or would they become tools of control and exploitation? This cautionary note is particularly relevant in an era where artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and energy solutions hold immense power, but also carry potential risks. The responsibility to make conscientious choices balancing progress with ethical considerations will be crucial in determining the kind of future these advancements will create. As technology and power converge, the line between innovation for the benefit of society and technology as a mechanism of control becomes thin. In essence, Cayce's predictions for 2025 envision a world at a crossroads. With opportunities for medical advancements, sustainable energy, and ethical responsibility, humanity stands on the cusp of an era defined by both tremendous potential and profound choices. If we heed Cayce's vision, embracing holistic healing, sustainable energy, and mindful innovation, we may realize a future that upholds human dignity and respect for the planet. Yet, this future depends on whether society can navigate the ethical terrain and prioritize developments that uplift rather than subjugate, that heal rather than harm. The trials of 2025 may indeed challenge humanity, but they also carry the seeds of extraordinary growth and transformation. In reflecting on Edgar Cayce's powerful prophecies, we're invited to consider the potential impact of 2025 not just as a year of disruption, but as a catalyst for deeper transformation. His visions are strikingly relevant, resonating with the turbulence of our current times, and serve as a call for us to prepare both individually and collectively. Cayce's messages transcend any single challenge we might face, reminding us that humanity's progress is intertwined with our willingness to confront the unknown with courage, understanding, and a commitment to positive change. As we approach this pivotal year, Cayce's insights challenge us to look inward and evaluate our contributions to the world around us. He speaks of the power of human intention, urging us to recognize that our choices, no matter how small, carry a ripple effect, influencing not only our lives but the lives of those around us. This is not just a message for the spiritually inclined or the curious. It is a reminder for all of humanity to find strength and purpose in unity. In times of struggle, when divisions and misunderstandings run deep, Cayce's vision of a compassionate, interconnected world serves as a guidepost for realigning our intentions and focusing on what truly matters. Cayce's predictions, though often filled with caution, also hold within them seeds of optimism and transformation. He foresaw the possibilities of humanity growing through adversity, of societies healing ancient rifts, and of individuals discovering new paths to personal and collective fulfillment. While 2025 may indeed test our resolve, Cayce reminds us that with every trial comes an opportunity for rebirth. If we can embrace these changes with open hearts and minds, we may find ourselves on the brink of a renaissance, a time where compassion and cooperation drive the world forward rather than conflict and fear. For those who find solace in Cayce's prophecies, the message is clear. It is not enough to simply observe the world's changes. We must actively participate in shaping them. This means listening more intently to others, caring for our communities, and fostering a spirit of resilience and unity. The challenges we face may seem overwhelming, but by grounding ourselves in Cayce's timeless principles of empathy and hope, we can navigate these shifts with grace. In conclusion, let us approach 2025 with not only awareness but intention. Let us remember that in the face of uncertainty, we possess an inner strength and the potential for meaningful impact. Edgar Cayce's prophecies are not solely about predicting the future, but about inspiring each of us to create a legacy of compassion, wisdom, and healing. The world we envision for tomorrow begins with the actions we take today, and together, we have the power to turn Cayce's vision of a unified, resilient humanity into reality. As we move forward, may we embrace the challenges ahead not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones on the path to a brighter, more harmonious future for all.